This is episode 2 of the first double episode being actually a lot of filler. Today is episode 2 of Attack on Titan, The Focus, which is actually half filler. Like half the episode's content is not existing in the manga. If you missed the first part, make sure to watch that first. And with that, let's go into episode 2. I will again tell you the anime only stuff, then say what I think about it, and at the end of the video I will have a conclusion of what I think overall of having so much filler at the beginning. More Titans. The priest, the red dressed girl, and all these pure Titan fellas. Yeah, so this time around there is a lot more of them in the anime episode. As I already mentioned, at least 50% of this episode is extra content. This entire sequence from minute 2:20 onwards, where the raven eats from a corpse of a human, the shrink-wrapped priest preaching and walking towards these titans, the girl, young woman in the red dress, and all the people being feast to titans until minute 3:47 is just made up. In the manga, after Eren's mom gets eaten, the very next thing is Eren's and Hannes' conversation about him being too weak and Hannes being not brave enough. This filler content particularly is one of the best. It's all just stuff that of course happened in Shiganshina, but the manga didn't decide to show it to us. Though it probably is better to get the atmosphere of this event, the fall of Shiganshina, and catch the viewer's attention to what this show is, to not just show the plot relevant sequences from the fall of Shiganshina like the manga did. The red dressed girl gives us shiver, because it's just human nature to see young girls in danger or being killed to be more shocked than. The other titans shown is good. In the manga, literally the only pure titan we really see is the smiling titan in the entire fall of Shiganshina. Having these plenty of titans gives us more a feeling to how it is being invaded by titans. And that's missing in the manga. And especially the priest being in the background of this scene with his speech towards the titans is really good. Really cool atmosphere. And the fact that he actually walks towards them and like tries to do exorcism or something, it just really fits, considering that the priests know more than the average human, but not the full truth. And this priest, being so naive and faithful, even walking towards the titans, just fits in so well, as he is the priest of one of the poorest districts in the entire walls of Shiganshina. He most likely is low in the priest hierarchy and knows less than, for example, Nick. Really good scene. I would be missing it if it wasn't there. Armin's grandpa and the boat. In the manga, the boat scene is again so shrink down to a mere existence. It's just Eren and Mikasa already on the boat and someone screaming, "The boat has no space left." And then nothing more, except for Eren's scene later, when he decides he's gonna kill them all. Don't worry, this scene is in the manga. People actually trying to charge onto the last boats, and even some trying to jump on them and falling off, is a little but nice detail of realism and horror again. Also that Armin explains the idea behind outlier districts, as Shiganshina is one, is good. It will be explained in the manga later, but I think we should have given this information already here. But the best added content is actually Armin being on the same boat, looking out for his two friends Eren and Mikasa, and the introduction to Armin's grandpa. And all that paired with sounds in the background to what is currently happening in the background. The defense of the inner gate. Reiner's charge into the inner gate. The inner gate stuff is just so narrow in the manga. It's just one panel, some shadows of unknown soldiers screaming that something, they mean the armored titan by that, but they don't know, is running towards the gate and cannons don't work. And the next panel is the armored being through the gate already. That's it. No Hugo, that's the drunk guy that played cards with Hannes. No soldiers giving up, wanting to close the gate early. No Hannes wanting to let every soldier through the gate first. No introduction to the armored. No showing first how the cannons work with difficulty, yes, but work on normal titans, but then not on the armored. No Hannes looking at the armored after the fall. And no rich people talking about refugees streaming in. It's just that panel of Reiner already being through, and then the next is Eren thinking of his mom and his promise to himself, the famous scene. And only Mikasa besides him, no Armin, asking what's wrong, Eren. Yeah, again, really good additions. The manga feels a little rushed and shrinked out there, and the anime makes it full-fledged. Except for this, like, why is Reiner breathing fire here after he accomplished the charge? What is this? Especially Armin also seeing Eren making this important line that he's gonna kill them all, I think is so important to have Armin witness that. Armin's narration of what happened after and Grisha scene. The very next scene is just completely missing, but Armin making narration of what happened after, how the government dealt with it, the teaser of Grisha giving Eren the attack titan, the showing that Eren suddenly has the key. All important to me actually. Missing these is a loss. The Grisha scene is delivered later, after they graduate as soldiers, so this scene is no filler. But I think it works much better being shown here. And leading into Eren suddenly noticing the key on his neck, considering that Shadis made him on Eren after he became the attack titan. I don't even know when Eren having now the key is first pointed out in the manga. I can see the key in the scene. It's directly after that on Eren in the manga, to be honest. Probably I did miss it, but probably it's as late as the scene where Eren is confronted with being a titan by the soldiers until Pixis intervenes. So that's also a correction there from the anime, that the key is already on him and not just spawns at some point. The refugee food scene is completely filler, and it's so good. The foreshadowing of Annie getting a brat, nice. Eren making problems with the soldiers that gossip about the refugees. It's all just so good build up and realism again. And my favorite is Eren refusing the bread from them and Mikasa forcing him to eat. It's so in character. It's good when the anime people understand these characters. Eren would actually rather die starvation than accept fruit from people he is angry at. Good, perfect scene. The death scene of Armin's grandpa and it leading into the training camp. This is now the last of many completely filler scenes. It begins again with Armin narrating what happens of the events of the Maria reclaiming mission that was only to get rid of 20% of the poor population, so that the food supply is enough. Having already explained here that atrocity from the government is good, it hints on how this government works and just characterizes Armin to us as a smart realist, which is a really important character trait of him. Not only is he smart, but he's a realist. And the emotional death of Armin's grandpa and Eren saying that he's joining the recruits, all good again, would be missing it. And the subtle Reiner and Berthold detail, you all know it, them being among the refugees is great. then it goes to all canon from there on. Also, the next episodes are all 99% canon. It was just these 2 episodes actually. The order is different though, because we already see Eren being graduated as a soldier immediately after these 2 first episodes or 2 first chapters in the manga, and the whole camp is shown after Eren filled the hole in trust. Again, I wonder, what do you say on these changes? Tell me in the comments. I personally think my overall conclusion about the first double episode actually having a bunch of filler, or at least be not as manga accurate as the show is most of the time. Most of the time the show is actually just every panel of the manga but a moving picture and sound. Nothing more. Which is in my opinion the way to go about with adaptations. But this time I think it's good overall. The first chapters feel a bit rushed, a bit bland compared to the anime. Almost everything in the manga at the beginning is just Eren, only his POV. Isayama at the beginning of the manga really quickly wanted to come to the point. Everything is just the main plot, nothing else. He even later skips the absolute most of the recruit years at first, like I already said, and only to come directly to the Battle of Trust. And don't get me wrong, I usually really appreciate that style of writing. So many writers fill in between the more interesting main plot. They have a lot of not so good side plot, or even scenes without plot development at all. Like, sorry for the hot take, but the Ice and Fire books. The main plot is just better than the side stuff. The side stuff is still not bad, but the main plot is the real thing, and there's so much side stuff in between these pages. But whatever, hate me for that in the comments. I usually appreciate that writing style. Absolutely. Isayama has here. But this is too much. In this particular case, I think the anime is overall like by 90% in this first double episode a correction of the pacing and the storytelling of the beginning. The anime makes it just more fleshed out, more full-fledged, and stays true to my rule of not changing any content or canon from the manga, just adding atmosphere and tone and putting in a lot of niche foreshadowings. So my opinion is just, it's completely stupid that these 3 things are different. See you later, Eren missing in the anime dream. Why? Nick being in Shiganshina. Why? And most importantly, I hated how the Smiling Titan appears to almost kill Carla right before eating her. Why? Killing all the tension there. This stuff is just the worst. But for the rest, good filler content, which just does not feel like filler. I wouldn't have guessed this as filler, but it's just like more an overhaul of the first 2 chapters. Yeah, and with that, I wish you all a great